to know who the smaller companies or what acquisitions have taken place to form that larger organization. So by looking into the background and the history of the larger CROs, you can see who they've absorbed. And in general, they've absorbed companies that have been small but have been very specific. So in general, you have a bigger portfolio of services that they can offer. So it's all about examining the CROs, looking at their background, looking at their reputation, and also networking from people who are more or less my age, coming from a similar background in terms of being a scientist and working in academia and then pharma biotech. It's all about making sure you've got a good network of people so you can understand where are they placing the projects, and that could give me an indication where I should place my projects.
Got it. And then once you have chosen a CRO to work with, you've done your due diligence, looked at their background, seen, these smaller companies that have areas of specialization that have been absorbed by perhaps a larger parent company, but are keeping those characteristics that set them apart as a smaller independent entity. Let's say you've gone down that path, you've done your vetting, you've moved forward with them, you're engaged with them on a project. How do you measure success at the end of the day? What are your KPIs? What are the things you're looking out for when deciding whether to continue work with them or to, perhaps look for new partners?
Well, I think the way that you measure success is based on many different things. One way I've always looked at it is that I don't like placing projects with a CRO if that's going to be a very short-term relationship with them. If I know there are going to be multiple projects that have to be done over 1 to 2 years, I don't want to change CROs every time. I want to try and form a long-term relationship, so I make sure I choose the right CRO in advance, so I know that there can be a long-term relationship, and I think that's better to have continuity with the same CRO. But in order to do that, I do check that the requirements are there and the CRO can be responsive, and I do feel that there is enough technical expertise when I have the face-to-face meetings. So I do like to ask questions about examples and case studies that they can show me to say how they've worked in the past. Success can also be measured on the price that you pay. A project can work very well, but it wasn't value for money. And I think that's also a measure of success, that you get value for the money that you pay. Success can also be when the project is completed. How long did it take between signing the contract and getting the final report? That can be a month, it could be 3 months, or it can be 6 months. As I said earlier on in this conversation, the timelines to get the work done are getting longer, not shorter. So success can also be measured by how long it takes to get the project done. Another measure of success is the CRO committed to work with you again to use similar experiments, and what they're doing is they're building on the expertise that they've learned perhaps in your first or second project. So it's all about forming a long-term relationship, and if you have established that long-term relationship, that could be considered to be a success, a factor of success. A performance indicator could be, yes, I've built that relationship and I'm going to go back again. So I can say that would be another sort of a measure of success. Yep. Finally, I would say in terms of success is making sure that the work is obviously done properly and